Everything we do, we want to do it as efficiently as possible. Now, what is perceived to be efficient is like a robot, uh, complete productivity at all moments, all times, all parts of the day. But we're humans. We don't just have a analytical, computational, mental aspect. We have an emotional aspect, and that's what makes us humans. And so, part of what makes us efficient is being able to balance out our need for fulfilling our emotional and mental energy. So, here's an example. Um, you might drain your mental energy working on some analytical tough task that's like, maybe you're doing some computing of numbers, or you're working with a group of people to organize a project, and you're figuring out what their skill sets are and uh, how that all joins together to achieve your project's goals or whatever. You're doing some kind of corporate job, or you're doing some blue collar job. Doesn't matter. You got to focus in those jobs. So you're not really being emotional about it. You're just focusing on the task at hand and achieving it. And then you'll probably be drained of mental power. And assuming, which isn't always true, but assuming you don't have too much politics to deal with in your workforce, you might have more emotional capacity than you do mental capacity at the time. So then now you have more emotional space to be able to refill the mental space, so that maybe that's where your lunch break comes in. And now it's like, all right, I get to take my mind off the mental task at hand. I get to have some social connection with other people, or if I want to stay by myself, because my job is also emotionally laborious, because I have to interact with people probably more than I want to. You get to recharge on both, right? The point is being able to alternate between the two is what makes humans efficient. Robots don't need that emotional balance. They don't need to isolate to recharge. Um, they just, all they need is physical, literal energy, electricity, a battery, something to draw energy to conduct itself from. And without that, they have absolutely nothing. But with that, they have absolutely everything. Humans, we need to recharge emotionally. So it's like, that's what makes us efficient. So all that context to say what? All that to say that our form of what efficient looks like depends on where you're drained at. Are you drained at emotionally, mentally? And you just have to have the awareness to understand where you are relatively. And as long as you understand that, that's what determines what will make you efficient in the moment. So, you know, as long as you understand where you need to charge up, that will determine what activities or actions will help you be more efficient. And ultimately, being more efficient is where we benefit from, because then it means we get more done. And so if that means you need to take a break to get more done, then that's what you need to do. Being efficient doesn't mean just strictly doing more work. It might be taking a nap. It might be taking a walk. It might be doing what I'm doing right here, chilling at the park, getting some sunlight and relaxing. This is, something I've realized in this whole video series is, ironically, I thought this was going to be work in the beginning. And the more I do this, the more it actually feels like I'm recharging, because I'm already doing stuff I would have wanted to do anyways. I would want to be at this park. I would want to be in the sun. Usually I'd be in silence, but usually the only difference is, instead of me recording my thoughts, I'd be thinking them to myself. Almost like I'm recharging me mentally for what's to come for the next 6 to 8 hours. So um, it doesn't really take too much energy out of me to do this. And I'm almost starting to think, maybe because I'm saying it, maybe it's becoming true, but I'm almost starting to think recording this is charging me up. Um, and the process of production of just making a thumbnail and uploading and title and description, that is now almost like automated to some degree. So it's not almost, it's not quite, but it's simple. It's not too laborious. So for me, this is emotionally charging. I wouldn't say it's depleting, because I have these ideas in my head almost every day. As you see, I record multiple clips in one sitting, and then I release them out over the next few days. So um, yeah, being efficient, you just gotta be present to understand what efficiency for us looks like as humans. But ultimately, being efficient makes us more productive, makes us achieve more of what we want to do in our life, makes us maximize our life. So be present to understand what efficiency looks like for you. We're not robots. Not yet.